bhavatu sahanau bhunaktu सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम बोलिए श्री चिन्मय सूर्य नारायण भगवान की जय श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः हरि ओम. So today we begin a very beautiful new text. It is written by Pujya Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda ji of Chinmaya mission, and the name of the text is called Nirdvandva Sukham. A copy of this is available with our Chinmaya mission bookstores, online also through Chinmaya Vani. This is a composition by Pujya Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda ji. It is about Nirdvandva. Dvandva means duality. Nirdvandva means without any duality. There is no two, there is just one. Sukham is expression of joy, experience of joy. In another 2 days, we are going to wish everybody a happy 2024, a new calendar, and we will be exchanging a lot of happiness this way. Otherwise, also we wish each other happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy Mother's Day, Father's Day. So the idea is we want to be happy, we want others to be happy, and we want our happiness to be always. But unfortunately, happiness comes and goes, we don't experience it always. The happiness that we get from objects is transient, it is not permanent. The happiness that we experience from people because of their good qualities and good attitudes towards us, that is also subjective to change. They will not be the same way at all times. Even we will not be the same way towards others at all times. Our state of mind also will change often. Our thoughts are changing, our moods are changing, our emotions are changing, and the situations around us are constantly changing. In this context, how is it possible to experience happiness at all times? We are working for things and state of mind which are all by their very nature transient, and our happiness also does not last because of that. Guruji says, when the setup changes, we become upset. So that is a very humorous statement with a lot of meaning. The self alone is the source of all happiness, and that happiness gets reflected in our thoughts, in our words, in our actions, in our emotions, in our feelings. That self gets reflected in the situations when it registers inside as a thought or an understanding. That self alone is reflected. So what is actually giving us happiness? The happy thought will go away and a sad thought will come. The happy situation will go away, a different situation may come. The person who gave us happiness will go away and another person may come. But the self that is casting its light of awareness on all our thoughts, emotions, feelings and experiences is always there with us at all times. So that is the reason why Kapila Muni, he tells his mother, according to me, self-knowledge is the only means for attaining the supreme truth, supreme good for all mankind, where there is a total cessation of both joy and sorrow. Joy and sorrow are like agitating waves. Joy comes, it's a wave. Then sorrow comes, it's a trough. A wave rises high, a trough goes low. So these two keep coming constantly in our life, and the light of consciousness is reflecting on our joy, But we experience the joy because we are able to see something. We are able to see the source for our happiness, and so we prefer joy. When it comes to sorrow, we are not able to see the source because sorrow is a trough. It is something negative. It goes down. It hides things for us. We are not able to see clearly, and so we experience it as sorrow. द्रष्टुर्दृश्यसमायोगात् प्रत्ययानन्दनिश्चयः यस्तं स्वमात्मतत्त्वोत्थं निस्पन्दं samupasmahe. I worship that freedom of mind, that which is not in contact with any joy and sorrow, says the Siddha Gita. And in our Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Muni says, Yoga Adhyatmika Pumsam Mato Nishreyasayame Atyanto Paratir Yatra Dukhas Yacha Sukhasya Cha Atyanta Uparatihi Yatra. In yoga, where the thought and mind are united and we are functioning as one whole, that is the supreme good for all. Nishreyasa means the best that we can experience is a state of yoga where Atyanta Uparatihi, there is complete cessation of the waves of sorrow as well as joy. The text Nirdvandva Sukham begins, as usual, it begins with an auspicious invocation to the Guru. Swanandanubhutyayo dvandvair vimuktaha gurum tam namasye sadha bhava bhaktya. Swa ananda anubhutya yaha vimuktaha dvandvaihi. The Guru is a person who has experienced that anubhuti. Anubhuti means constantly experiencing Swa Ananda, the joy within one's own self. And because of that experience, he is experiencing that joy, and so he is free from dvandva. In sleep also, we are experiencing the thought that I don't know. Because we are experiencing only that thought of I don't know, we don't experience any other thing, any other duality. Other than sleep, we don't experience anything else. But here in the waking state, in sleep also the bliss is realized, but we don't know that we are blissful when we are sleeping. When we wake up from sleep, we realize that we are blissful. Swa Ananda Anubhutya Yaha Dvandvair Vimuktaha. Because of the experience of the self, this Guru is free from duality. We will see what is duality. Gurum Tam Namasye. I worship that Guru. I surrender to that Guru. Sada Bhava Bhaktya. With that, with the attitude of devotion, with that feeling of devotion, I surrender to the Guru. So beginning with worship and surrender to the Guru, Swami Tejomayananda ji speaks, invoking, he begins the inquiry into this Nirdvandva Sukham. Dvandvatmakam jagat sarvam Nirdvandvo bhava sarvatham iti shastropadeshasya palanam shakyate katham. So the Shastras, the Upanishads and the books that teach us what is best for our life, they say Dvandvatmakam Jagat Sarvam. This whole world, whatever we see outside, is full of dualities. 1 hour before I was ecstatic, the next hour I will be anxious. How am I going to get my food? Then I would have forgotten that anxiety. I would have got the food. I'd have eaten the food. And next hour I will be thinking, oh my God, I have to wake up tomorrow early. How is it I have to finish this? That anxiety is there. Then that anxiety is also gone when you begin doing the work. Dvandvatmakam Jagat Sarvam. Everything in this universe is full of dualities. Nirdvandvo Bhava Sarvatha. At all times, in all ways, be free of dualities. Iti Shastra Upadeshasya. The Shastras are teaching us to be free from duality at all times. Because this whole world is only duality, and as long as we are remaining in duality, we can never experience joy alone. We will get joy mixed with many things because duality is the nature of the world. Palanam shakyate katham. How is it that I can follow? How is it that I can adopt this practice in my life? How can I be free from duality? As the Shastras point out, which is good for me. In this world, what are all the dualities that we see? Creation, destruction, day, night, summer, winter, desert, forest, macro, micro, nano, femtometer, maximum big planets we see, microscopic particles we see. in our in our feelings also there are duality. There is war and peace. There is a feeling of being rich and being poor. There is love and there is hate. There is papa and punya, merit and demerit, sin. Somebody is serious, somebody is humorous, somebody is venomous, somebody is so sweetly behaved, somebody is delicate, somebody can be brute, somebody is very kind, somebody is very cruel, somebody gives pleasure, somebody gives pain. If you can, the list of dualities is endless, and we are all engaged in this duality. Even in English also, when you say the word short, immediately we call them antonyms in English, the opposite. When you say short, immediately the tall comes to mind. When you say big, the small comes to mind. When you say thin, the fat comes to mind. Everything is, whatever we think in our mind is filled with dualities. And even there's some regional languages are there. This word dvandva also means confusion, which means duality leads to plurality, and plurality combined with duality leads to a lot of confusion. Even in our Sanskrit grammar, we have ekavachanam, dvivachanam, bahuvachanam. In Sanskrit, the greatest speciality of Sanskrit is this dual case, dvivachanam. Why? Because this world is filled with dualities. This world is filled with twos, things that are two. And even in samas, it is a grammatical compound, description of grammatical compound. This dvandva samas refers to two things of the same name, of the same qualities. They are equal. When you refer to them as twos, they are equal. So Dvivachanam is Rama Lakshmanau. Rama and Lakshmana together. Or two Ramas, Ramau, Krishnau, Govindau. When you say that, it refers to two people alone. Or two things like ears, Karnau, Netre, Netra, Netram, Netre, Netrani, Netre, two eyes, two hands, Haste, Hastaha, Hastau. Two hands and two legs. Padau, Padaha, Padau, Padaha, Padam, Padau, Padana, Padena, Padabhyam, Padaihi. So everything, the two has a special case for it. So that is Dvandva. And how do we become, as long as we are in this duality, we don't experience freedom. When we don't experience freedom, we don't experience joy also. Because if you experience one, then the other is always coming. The next verse, the third verse, there are three verses that come in a row. Vividham vartate dvandvam lokesmin kila drishyate jagannishtham manonishtham tayor bedotra kathyate. Dvividham, Dvandvam itself, Dvandvam or duality in this world, in this loke asmin means in this world that we see, it is seen in two ways. What are the two types of dualities that we see? One is Jagannishtham and the other is Manonishtham. Jagannishtham means duality that is existing in the world. In the world of our perception, what we see, light and shade, light and darkness, black and white, all the forms, names, and the tactile sensation, the objects that we see in the world are all dual. Two types are there. Manonishtam is in our mind we experience duality, joy, sorrow, hatred, love, then so many qualities are there: excitement, depression, exhilaration, depression, high, high, feeling of very low, all that. Manonishta. Tayor Vedaha Atra Katyate. There are two differences. One is the differences, the dualities that are established in the world, and the other is the dualities that are there in the mind. Now the world dualities are explained here. Janma mrityu cha shitoshne labha labhau jaya jayau sayam pratar grishma varshe dvandvametat jagat sthitham. The dvandvas or the dualities that exist in the world. Janma mrityu. You experience birth, you experience death. You see people are being born, you see people are dying. Shita Ushna, you experience a cold temperature, you experience hot temperature. Labha alabha, you experience gain, you experience loss. Jaya ajayau, you experience victory, you experience failure. Sayam pratar sayam prataha. Sorry. Sayam means evening, prata is morning. Grishma varshe. Grishma is summer season. Varsha is the rainy season. Dvandvam etat jagat sthitam. These are all the dualities that are existing in this world that we experience. And then the third, what is the third verse is Anubhavanti sarvehi dvandvan yetani jivane saghana sadhana nirdhanaschapi panditavana shikshitaha. So, people, all kinds of people, Anubhavanti sarvehi, all kinds of people experience these dualities in the world. Dvandvani, etani, jivane. In their life, they experience all these dualities. They may be sadhana, they may have a lot of wealth. Nirdhana, they may have no wealth. They can be panditaha, they can be very knowledgeable people. They can be shikshitaha. They can be people who have not studied anything, who don't have any education, illiterate people also. They can be, but they experience dualities. You ask the farmer, one day he will feel very happy, one day he will feel very sad. When there's a lot of gains from there's a lot of produce that's generated in the field, he is very happy. Suppose something happens and the rain washes away the produce, the same farmer is very sad. Whether they are learned or whether they are ignorant and illiterate or rich or poor, people experience these dualities. So it is a lot of everybody. Then what is so special about coming out of duality? If we really want to be living in this world of day and night, joy and sorrow, moving in the spinning wheel of duality, there is no problem. If you want to have only one, if you want to experience only joy and only bliss at all your times, then we have to go ahead and proceed about what we need to do to come out of this experience of duality all the time. Dvandvam jagat sthitam naiva karanam sukha dukkhayoh manogatam hitagnyeyam parityajyam asheshatah. Dvandvam jagat sthitam naiva karanam sukha dukkhayoh. Jagat sthitam dvandvam. The dualities in the world are not the cause for our joy and sorrow. We say because it is night time, I feel sad, I can't do whatever I want to do. Because it will be daytime tomorrow, I will become happy. No. Night and day come and go. The clock keeps moving. It does not ask anybody's permission. The waves of the ocean keep coming and going back into the ocean. It does not ask anybody's permission. It does not wait for anybody. The sun rises and the sun sets. The moon rises and the moon sets. Everything happens in this world. The duality is persisting and existing, whether we like it or not. And they don't cause our joy and sorrow. Then why is the joy and sorrow happening? Manogatam hitagnyeyam. Only the sorrow that is established in the mind, parityajyam asheshataha. We don't need to bother about the dualities in the world. They can be. It is not going to harm us. It is not actually going to disturb us. It is very easy to accept the dualities in the world. But the dualities in the mind, we have to completely give up because they are going to cause a lot of disturbance in our thinking, in our thought patterns. They cause a lot of agitations. So it is better we give up the dualities of the world. Ragadveshau च स्वपरौ कर्ता भोक्तास्मि कर्मणः इमे प्रमुखतो भावा जनकर्म प्रवर्तकाः. Raga dvesha, likes and dislikes. These are the dualities in the mind. Then you have swa paraha, I for me and for others, me and others. Karta bhokta, doer, enjoyer. Asmi, I am. I have likes and dislikes. This is me and this is the I am. I am nijo paro veti gananam laguchetasam udara charitanam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. I am nijaha paraha veti. This is only real. This me is only real. Everybody else don't belong to me. They are all different. Gananam, if we calculate like this, our mind is very tiny. Udara Charitanam, people who have a very magnanimous personality, they consider the whole world as their own family. So this is a Subhashitam. Swa Paraha, me and others. Karta Bhokta, I am the doer of this action. I am the enjoyer of this result. Asmi, Karmanaha, these are all I am the doer of these actions. Karmanaha Karta. And the results of the action, karmanaha bhokta. Ime pramukhataha bhavaha. These are all the types of feelings we get inside us. Jana karma pravartakaha. With these feelings, human beings are pushed into action. They enter into action because they entertain these kind of dual feelings within them. प्रवृत्तिस्वेष्ट विषये निवृत्तिश्च तदन्यतः जनस्यायं स्वभावो हि सर्वत्र परिलक्ष्यते. स्व विषय स्वेष्ट विषये. When I like something, when I want something, then I engage in action in that direction. If I don't like it, then nivritti, I withdraw from doing that. I withdraw from that person. I withdraw from that situation. I withdraw from that object, or I withdraw from that action. Nivritti tad anyataha. If it is the opposite of what I like, then I withdraw. If I like something, I engage. Janasya ayam swabhavaha. This is the natural quality of all human beings. He sarvatra parilakshyate. Indeed, it is seen everywhere. It is very common to see these qualities in human beings of going behind what they like and withdrawing from what they don't like. Karma phalani prapyante प्रकृतेर्नियमैः सदा जना भवन्ति सुखिनो दुःखिनो रागद्वेषतः. So what happens when you engage in action or you withdraw from something because we like and dislike? Karma phalani prapyante. Whether I engage or withdraw, I will get the respective results of the actions. If I engage in doing something good, the results will be good. If I engage in doing something not so good, the results will be not so good. If I engage in doing something bad, if I disengage from doing something good, then I will not get good results. If I disengage from doing something bad, then I can get good results. Karma phalani prapyante prakritehe. According to the rules of Prakriti, we will not get, suppose I invest 100 rupees, I am not going to get 1 lakh rupees in interest. I will get only that much interest. Maybe whatever 6% means, it will be only 6%, 6 rupees interest I will get the next year. I will not get 1 lakh rupees interest. So, jana bhavanti sukhinaha, dukkhinaha ragadveshataha. Because I engage in action or I don't engage in action, I get certain results. The results I may like. If I like those results, I am a sukhi. I am a happy person. If I don't like those results, I am a dukhi. I am a sad person. Depending on my likes and dislikes, I become either happy or sad. Tasmat saduktam gitayam naiva gachet tayor vasham gambhiratas chintaniyam palaniyam cha jivane. I think some place, did we miss something? We missed some words. Did we? Ime pramukataha bhavaha. Somewhere the words from the Gita. Just a moment. If I skipped a page, Vicharaha sorry. We have skipped 2 verses. That's why I was wondering how come I went so fast. In after the verse 2, verse 3, I skipped a page. Vichara kriyate tasya yato mukti pradohi saha nirdvandvo hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. When I saw this Gita, I realized that earlier this Gita has been quoted and how come I did not read it. So the whole world is Dvandvatmakam Jagat. That is the second verse. And the Upanishads and the Vedas, they talk to us about being free of duality. How to do that? How to be free of duality? The way is vichara. Vichara is contemplation. Vichara kriyate tasya yato mukti pradohi saha. Enquiry should be done about this issue, about being free from duality, because it gives us liberation. Mukti means freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from being affected by the modifications of the mind and of our surroundings. Mukti pradaha, hi saha. Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Nyeya sanitya sanyasi yo na tveshti na kamshati nirdvandvo hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. The 3rd verse of the 5th chapter. Nyeyaha sa nitya sanyasi. Know that person to be a sannyasi or a renunciate, eternal renunciate. Who is a sannyasi? Yo na dveshti na kamshati. The one who does not get angry, the one who does not reject anything, does not hate anything, na kankshati, the one who does not have any desires for something. He is free from dualities. Nirdvandvaha hi mahabaho. O Arjuna of very strong and great shoulders, be nirdvandva, be free of dualities. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. That nirdvandvatvam, or being free from duality, will give us the joy, and by making us free from duality, the bondage of dukkha in this world. So Guruji says here, pramanam krishna vachanam jivanam vidusham tatham paryaptam sadhanam praptam vicharasya hitayanaha. So what is the proof for all this? That if I do vichara, I will be free from dualities. Pramanam Krishna Vachanam. For the life of a student or a learned person who is seeking the truth, the words of Krishna is proof enough. Paryaptam sadhanam praptam vicharasya hitayanaha. This vichara or contemplation is enough for my sadhana or for my practice, hitayanaha, to do good for us in our life. Here vichara is spoken about in many Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangraha. Why do we need to inquire? Why do we need to know what will we get out of vichara? Why should I be free from duality? We always do something only if there is a purpose to it. Prayojanam anuddishya na mandopi pravartate, says the Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangraha. Why we should know the prayojanam, why we should know the use for pursuing this path of non-duality or being free from duality, because it makes us free. It makes us, it gives us that realization of the self that grants us freedom, because the mind is not caught in dualities, it rests in oneness. And in the Panchadashi also, Nataka Deepa Prakarana, there's a famous verse, Avichara krito bandho vicharena nivartate. Bondage is caused by lack of contemplation, lack of thinking, lack of right thinking. By right thinking, we will become free. So these are the reasons why we should pursue this thought process. And then the next three verses that explain Dvividham, the Dvandvam, and the dualities in the world and dualities of the mind. The dualities of the world are experienced by all, but the dualities of the world do not give us trouble, but it is only the dualities of the mind that give us trouble. We will see some 8 more verses tomorrow. So these 3 days we are going to have vision of Vedanta at different times, because something else is happening here and I'm not able to come on the regular time for this. Anyway, Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेवा हरि ओम.